I'm on my way to London because I've heard of an inspiring project. You can't get more urban than Southwark. But a piece of wasteland in this council estate has been converted into a haven of nature. Well, this is interesting. They've got aubergines. We just saw Brussels sprouts. Oh, what a beautiful truss of young tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes. That's basil. Amazing that that's such a healthy looking plant outside in a season like this, but then this is London. If you think about all the urban spaces you've ever seen, full of useless perennial plants which just look slightly green and grow very slowly, this is the antidote because it's inspirational, it's providing food, and if things got a bit tricky, maybe Londoners could feed themselves much more than they can possibly imagine, and this is the evidence. An American artist and a local charity are behind it, but it's volunteers from the estate who've done the work.
Since I've been eating these cherry tomatoes out of this garden, my eczema condition has really improved, and I'm loving it. The garden is delicious.
If you're interested in a bit of land which is currently laying dormant and you fancy vegetable production, you should approach your tenants association or housing association and say, what do you think of this? You know, where can I get help with this idea?
It's vital we convert far more urban land into food. Our towns and cities have become terribly disconnected from the land. Few of us know where our food comes from, let alone how to grow it. Here in Lampeter, we're trying to change that by becoming a transition town. That means reducing our energy consumption and eating more local food. We've been having meetings and the momentum's gathering. But winning the majority over is the challenge.
On this one, but certainly on others.
People like Di Davis. He thinks reducing energy use is a good idea, but sees the obstacles to eating more local food.
It's the cost of it, I think, that puts people off.
I mean, it's a crazy situation that we have a meat packing factory down the road here, 8 miles down the road. And it's New Zealand lamb that we buy. We can't afford the Welsh lamb. It's a crazy situation.
Di's boss is Greg Evans.
Yeah. How are things, mate? Not too bad, man. Good. Any problems?
He's on the committee of Transition Town Lampeter and is trying to mobilise his workers behind the idea.
I think it is gathering momentum, but I would also say at this stage that a lot of those people are the sort of the more greeny people. That's a horrible phrase, I know, but they're already living the dream. What I want to get is the ordinary people of the town to get involved. But cost, how it affects the boys in their pocket, that's the one that they always give me grief about. And to a point I can see where they're coming from. If we do go more green and more organic and buy local, is it going to cost me more? And at the start I suppose it will do. But that's where we need to bring costs down.
The boys in the sorting office illustrate the problem. We've all got used to paying artificially low food prices. They don't reflect the true cost of production. Things like pollution. And when the oil price goes up, food will get dearer anyway. Head teacher Anne Davis wants her children at Ysgolhaig to put more importance on their food. She's very interested in the transition town idea, and she wants to get her school meals to come from local suppliers as much as possible.
One of our parents has won the silage competition, I don't know how many times, in the Royal Welsh Show, and it's a shame for us not to drink that milk, isn't
Exactly. And schools are a major buyer of food, so if we could get the policy for the whole of Ceredigion actually saying we want local food from local farms, this would really help the economy of the farming community. But as I discovered from school governor Ted Brown, the food they're getting now can come from all over.
Yeah, this is the free milk that the children up to the age of 7 are getting at the school. And my son's actually in year 2 now. And he came home one day and said, "Dad, the milk comes in boxes now, not in bottles. It's not the stuff from Clan of Butter anymore. It's in boxes." So we looked into it and found on the dairy code here that this milk's now coming from Feltham by Heathrow Airport, all the way down the M4, and to our school here in Ceredigion, where we used to send in the old days milk all the way up to London.
The problem is many councils in Wales are buying their food mainly on the basis of best price rather than on where it comes from. Here in Scotland, it's a different story. In Kilmarnock, 3/4 of the food in most of their primary schools is local. Extra money from the Scottish Executive is training council workers how to design tasty menus using local ingredients, and how to buy local food without breaking European regulations and without breaking the bank.
Using really excellent quality local organic produce, it costs 75 pence for a 2-course meal. But the difference between buying off national contracts and buying local and organic produce is 10 pence per meal. And when you consider the benefits to the community in terms of giving children pride in the community and that they know where the food comes from, investing in the community through local producers, the potential to create employment, all these benefits, 10 pence is insignificant as far as I'm concerned.
The Welsh Assembly government are bringing in a similar policy, 4 years after the Scots. And councils are still waiting to hear how much money they're going to get to help them to buy from local producers rather than from national suppliers.